and Senator Jeff Merkley, the U.S. Senator, the junior senator from Oregon, on the line with us. Merkley.senate.gov is his website. Senator Merkley, great to have you back on our program.
Oh, thank you so much. It's wonderful to be with you.
You are one of the genuine progressive voices in the United States Senate, and I just want to tell you how much I honor that and respect that, and how pleased I am that you represent, in a way you represent, I still own a home in Oregon, so I guess you still represent me, even though I'm living here in D.C. most of the time. And we're just so glad to have you with us. Tell us about the jobs bill that President Obama has put forward that the Republicans are obstructing, and what can we do about jobs in the United States?
Well, the key piece of having there's multiple pieces related to infrastructure, related to putting folks back to work with our public sector around the country. But the key is that right now, Mitch McConnell abuse of the filibuster is meaning that we can't get dialogue and decisions out of the U.S. Senate. The Senate cannot operate as a legislative body. And it's why next January I'm going to be immersed in carrying this fight again to change the rules of the Senate.
To end the filibuster?
Yes. Well, not completely end it, but to change it to a talking filibuster, where you have two ways to shut it down. Right now, it's one senator objects, and you end up with basically the majority has to get a supermajority to go forward. Mm-hmm. But in the situation with the talking filibuster, you have a second path where the moment somebody isn't available to speak to the bill, you go to a final vote. So that now the minority who wants to block the process has to be visible for the American public. And thus, for example, on the Disclose Act, if my Republican colleagues were there day and night trying to defend vast secret pools of money, we would soon get a public reaction that will allow us to pass it.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. We're talking with U.S. Senator Jeff Merkley of Oregon. And Senator, the Farm Bill, tell me about this. You played a role in this?
Yes, I certainly did. I have several pieces in there, including a piece that I did in partnership with Dick Lugar that is related to the construction industry. It seems a little funny to have in the Farm Bill, but it is a piece that is for rural electrical co-ops to offer low-cost loans for energy-saving retrofits on both commercial buildings and homes. And it's considered the single most cost-effective way to create living wage jobs.
Wow, that's extraordinary. And it's now in law.
It's not in law because the Farm Bill hasn't been passed through the House. And in fact, in Oregon right now, we have our grasslands are burning, our forests are burning. We have an area the size of Rhode Island, basically the largest fire in a century. And the emergency provisions that would normally help the ranchers and those who own forest lands are tied up. They're not authorized because the House hasn't acted on the Farm Bill.
Oh, my. Is this an intentional thing by the House Republicans? Is this part of their plan to blow up anything that Obama does that's good?
Anything that would show momentum, that finally things are getting done to put America back on track. It's so unacceptable.
It's so un-American.
For folks to come to D.C. as elected representatives and say our goal is to prevent problem solving at all costs. Yeah. It's just wrong, and there has to be a pushback from the American public.
Yeah, this group of congressmen and senators who met on the night that Barack Obama was inaugurated at the Caucus Room Restaurant, which was right around the corner from where Louise and I used to live, D and 8th Street. And it was a D and 9th, and just basically swore a blood oath to block anything that President Obama wanted to do for the next 4 years, and they've kept that commitment. And Paul Ryan was a member of that meeting. It's just extraordinary. What are your thoughts on the convention? How's that going? What's your sense of it?
It's going so well. It's going so well. Michelle Obama spoke to our hearts across America and laying out the challenges that her family went through and her husband's families went through. It's such a different background than Romney's. I mean, they understand firsthand the challenges of a working family in America. And when she said that our vision is that when you get through the door of opportunity, you don't slam it shut. In fact, you reach back and you hold it open for others to go through. That is what America is. That's why so many of us are in public life, that we want to see all families succeed. We are not about, in the Democratic Party, we are not about the 1% getting richer and more powerful and controlling more of the resources. We're for every family to succeed. And that is just a fundamental difference that was so apparent. And last night, Bill Clinton took apart the Republican analysis, and he did it in a fashion that I thought wasn't full of hate, wasn't full of cynicism. It was just saying these are the facts, the way they work. And I thought he did a superb job of laying out the case.
He filleted them like a sushi chef with a smile on his face.
Yes, yes.
It was extraordinary.
Yes, indeed.
It was just extraordinary. I noticed at the Republican National Convention, it seemed like most of the speeches were about me, about the individual speaker. They were telling their own stories, almost like they were auditioning for 2016. There was very little discussion of Mitt Romney and why he should be president, and virtually no discussion of policy other than trashing President Obama. Here at the Democratic Convention, it seems to me that every single speaker has been talking about real policy, real programs, things that the Obama administration has done, and fully embracing our president of the United States. Have you noticed that difference, or am I just, this is my bias
Well,
showing?
I have, and what I've really noticed is that we're so comfortable at this convention arguing for the policies we've put forward because we believe in them and it's analysis behind them. But our Republican folks at their convention, they were trying to just basically assert the opposite of the truth in order to make their case because they didn't have this story right. It's like on Medicare, where Republicans are always talking about efficiency. Well, Democrats came in and said there are a bunch of Medicaid Advantage plans that aren't performing. There are ones that are, and those that aren't performing are going to be held accountable. And the savings is going to be invested in other aspects of Medicare for the benefit of our seniors.
Right.
And, the Republicans came in and said, well, you took the money and you put it somewhere else. Well, it just actually factually wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. The fact checkers were so busy during the Republican convention because there were so many lies flying around. It hasn't been so much at the Democratic convention.
Full employment for folks who want to know the truth.
There you go. There you go. Senator Jeff Merkley, ably and brilliantly representing the great state of Oregon. Senator, thank you for being with us tonight.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
Great talking.